Nearly every modern vehicle uses something known as hydraulic braking system. The system allows the driver to apply a relatively small pressure to the brake pedal in order to stop the entire car. But how does the system work?
The fluid portion of a hydraulic braking system in a vehicle consists of a series of interconnected tubes leading from the brake pedal to the brake capillars. When the brake pedal is pressed by the driver, the fluid on that end of the tube receives pressure. Because the fluid inside the tubing, which is typically oil, is incompressible, it instead is forced to flow. But because the tube is full of this fluid already, it instead exerts a pressure on the other end of the tube as it attempts to flow but is prevented because of there being no available space for it to move. This causes the brake capillars, which are positioned at the other end of the tube, to receive pressure from the oil. In turn, the capillaries compress and squeeze on the car tires, forcing them to slow down and eventually stop. The harder the brake pedal is pressed, the more pressure is exerted on the oil, and the harder the capillaries squeeze on the tire, resulting in a quicker stop of motion.
The fluid mechanics of this system rely heavily on Pascal's law, that is, pressure equals force over area. Further, in a closed system, this pressure is forced to remain constant. This means that the force applied at the brake divided by the area of the tubing connected to the brake pedal must be equal to the force applied to the calipers divided by the area of the tubing connected to the calipers. The hydraulic braking system uses these facts to amplify the force inflicted on the pedal by the user in order to allow them to stop the vehicle with little effort. This is done by making the tubing connected to the calipers larger than that of the tubing connected to the brake pedal.
Using simple numbers for the sake of example, imagine if the driver applied 10 newtons of force to the brake pedal and the tubing connected to it had an area of 2 meters squared. This would result in a pressure of 5 newtons per meter squared. Pascal's law tells us that the pressure in the system must remain constant. If we made the tubing at the brake calipers have an area of 4 meters squared, the force at the calipers must be 20 newtons in order to keep the pressure at 5 newtons per meter squared. In this way, the hydraulic braking system uses different tubing sizes to amplify the force applied by the driver to create functional stopping power.
However, it isn't just Pascal's law that matters when discussing the fluid mechanics behind this system. It is also vital to consider certain fluid properties when considering what fluid to have inside of the tubing. While all liquids are incompressible, it is vital to use a fluid that can withstand both high and low temperatures. A car becomes very hot during operation, so having a fluid in the braking system that may start boiling would be extremely hazardous. Cars are also expected to work in environments that fall below freezing. If the fluid were to freeze inside the tubing, it would expand and cause serious damage to the braking system. It is also important that the fluid have an acceptable viscosity for the task as well as be resistant to the effects of aging, as the braking system must be reliable for the life of the vehicle. Considering these factors, oil has proven to be a strong choice for filling the braking system, and it is what most vehicles use today.
Using fundamental fluid mechanics found in Pascal's law, engineers have designed a capable braking system that allows the driver to stop the vehicle with minimum effort, creating an easier and safer driving environment for everyone.